activism need to be about keeping these commandments.
This is not what I expected out of them. The true Bible, the book of our fathers.
Right. The Most High has given us guidance on what we need to do.
It's Officer Eli.
It's Officer Nahshon.
Officer Ezekiel.
Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Most High in Christ bless you all. Happy prep day as we prepare for the Sabbath. We're in our show. We're continuing on with our series. Actually, this is the final part of this series here. The name of this topic is, again, the City of Israel in Restoration. This is part 5, and this will be the final episode dealing with this particular topic. And so what I'm going to do, I'm Bishop Yawasop, as you all know, and I'm going to introduce my...
Shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Captain Sariah.
Shalom, Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Officer Ezekiel.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Officer Nahshon.
All praise to the Most High. So what I want to say with this... where?
You know,
over here.
Got the rookie.
Oh, silent. Hey, you.
Nah, I was about to go, Bishop.
You about to go?
Yeah.
I just moved too fast. Is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
He called the flow yet, Bishop.
Okay, all right. You'll be all right. Brothers and sisters, this is Officer Azaria. When we do the credits about the technical crew with us, this is Officer Azaria. He's head of our editing and video team here in Concord, North Carolina. So we thank the Lord for him to be with us today. And so we're going to continue on with the lesson. All right. So like I said, shalom to our brothers and sisters that is watching online. And we like to say that we thank you for your support. We thank you for your attention that you're giving us for us to bring this lesson out to you. So we give our praises to the Father and the Son, Jesus Christ, for waking our people up in these days so that they know truth when they hear it and they'll respond to it in the right way, as I know that we always seek to do. So once again, thank you, my brothers and sisters, for joining us this evening. All right, so what we're going to bring out in this, we're going to bring out the final part of this series, while at the same time, I'm going to introduce a new topic at the same time. Okay, so as I'm ending this particular topic, I'm going to be bringing in tenets of a new topic that's going to come up in a few weeks. But after this, it's going to come in after this particular episode. So I think we might have a couple of episodes on something else next week, and then we'll get into what I want. Then we'll get into what I'm about to bring out. So when I come back on, I put it like this here. The name of that topic will be Truth, Justice, Suppression, and Anger. Let me say that again. The name of that topic will be Truth, Justice, Suppression, and Anger. Okay, so that's what that topic will be. But I think the captains might want to bring out something next week, so I'm going to lean back because I'm going to be dealing with some other things next week, Lord willing. All right, so what I want to talk about in this final episode is talk about the reasons why we must organize in righteousness. We must organize in righteousness. And there's a reason, a main reason why we must organize in righteousness. And we're going to talk about one of them. The CRT and 1619 curriculum and project controversies. Now let me break all that down. There was maybe a few months ago, I went through a series called the 1619 Project. The 1619 projected in black and white. That's what it was. And in that series of shows, we were talking about the importance of us acknowledging what happened during the 1619 era. Okay, 1619 meaning the times when the bulk of the quote unquote slaves were brought to this country. And the sister that headed the project, her name was Nicole Hannah Jones. Okay, and she caught a lot of hell when she wanted to really bring that to the classroom. So there was all kinds of controversy around her. They even neglected to give her tenure at the college she graduated from.
Right.
How you like that? So there's definitely some controversies around just telling the truth. Okay, so that's the 1619 project, or projected in black and white. So there was controversies around that. And so that's why I mentioned the controversy of this quote-unquote CRT CRT meaning critical race theory. A lot of that's been going on in the news now. We're going to play some of that stuff in the news clips and people acting all crazy. So we have the CRT, or the critical race theory. That is also another, I guess, another arm of what the 1619 Project was meant to do. So again, this is a situation where the program is designed to show that America is inherently and systematically racist towards non-whites, okay? Black people in particular, the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. It is particularly against the 12 tribes of Israel, okay? So with that information coming out, a lot of the people that's behind the engine of the system, they're upset. They don't want that information to come out, and we're gonna show you how Esau gets down. Okay, so the controversies are centered around what is called CRT, the critical race theory, and also the 1619 Project, which was headed by that sister. All right, so these are controversies. You know, when you think about it, what does controversy actually means? When you break the word down, I mean, let's look it up. Let's look up the word, because I didn't put this in my notes, but let's just get that out the way. Could we look up the word controversy? But, you know, and since we're talking about controversy, I guess we got to deal with this thing here, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to get into it. You know, let's look up controversy, and then we're going to get into that. Let's look up controversy. Okay? Now, this is what they say. This is in some dictionaries I like better than others. But this one right here, it says, controversy, disagreement typically when prolonged, public and heated. That's not good enough at all. Is there the old?
I'll go to Miriam.
Yeah, go to Miriam, man. Give me the deep one. This one is for like third graders or something. Give me the real. Give me the. I'm about to say something. No, I ain't gonna say that. Give me that real doogie guapo. Okay. They ain't really going too much deeper here. It says essentially meaning of controversy. It says argument that involves many people who strongly disagree about something. Strong disagreement about something among a large group of people. No, these are not good examples of what controversy means. Okay, now they got jumped down. It says a discussion. Hold on, moving too fast. A discussion marked especially by the expression of opposing views. They make it just sound like it's a dispute. That is not what controversy means. The word contra means against, right, and versi means truth. That's what it means.
I think that second one is probably quarrel or strife.
Quarrel or strife. But even in that, it just make it sound like it's just an argument. People just arguing over something.
Right.
Like I said, controversy. Contra means against, and versi means truth. Okay, that's the root word of versi, controversy. So now, let's see. Wait. I see that you had some etymology there. What do we got there? What it say? Disputable, turned against from contra. Okay, so they're giving you that part. Past participle. Okay, that's that English thing. Past participle of verdi means to turn around more at wrath. They're not really giving it to. Like I said, versi means truth. I was trying to think of a word that proves that. If I say versi means truth, but anyway, we'll come back to that. I'll look it up. I'll look it up further to prove my point. So now, since we're talking about controversy, let's get up our disclaimer, because this is another thing as to why we have to do these things, because there's an effort to be against what we're teaching. Okay, that's what's the controversy. Then we're gonna read the scripture. Come on, Captain.
Israel United in Christ. We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a non-violent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat, as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1 in the King James Version Bible.
All praise to the Most High. So we're going to get right into it. You know, I was thinking as we were reading this, like when we say, like I talked about, we used to have this this public access television show in New York, and it was called Our True Culture. That was the name of it. And in Spanish, it's called Nuestra Cultura Verdadera. So the V-E-R, again, meaning true. Cultura is culture, as you know, and our is nuestra. So Nuestra Cultura Verdadera. Okay, Verdi. All that means true. So controversy means against truth. Now, give me the Bible. Hosea 4:1.
I was just thinking that one there.
Hosea 4:1. Well, I tell you, they try to hide everything, man. It's like when I was with Captain Joshua out in Arizona. He was when we would go inside the in the definitions. He said that you have to drill down in the definitions. You got to go from one level, then drill down to the next to get to the truth, because they don't even tell you nothing. You ask, like, for instance, what's the meaning of Egypt? They're talking about it's some place somewhere. That's not telling me what the meaning of it is. So you got to start drilling down because they're hiding it. They're hiding stuff, and that's what this whole thing is about. Hiding the facts about quote unquote 1911. Hiding the facts about critical race, what they call critical race theory, okay? And they call it a theory, but it ain't no theory. It's a fact that black people, that the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, are systematically wronged by the systems that were set up in this country, okay? So that ain't no theory. That really happened, okay? So what do we got? Come on.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel.
Hear the word of the Lord, you children of Israel. Come on.
For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
So wait a minute. If the Lord has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, this is not two entities fighting. Let's get some understanding. Because if you're saying that the Lord has a controversy with Israel, both of us ain't just arguing over different sides. Right. God is right, we were wrong. So this is actually talking about us messing up. Okay, Northern Kingdom and Israel in general were just messing up during this time. So read it again. The Lord has a what?
The Lord hath a controversy.
The Lord has a controversy. He is against our actions, because our actions was wrong. God's actions were right. Okay, and we were wrong. So read it again.
The Lord hath a controversy.
The whole verse.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 1.
Come on.
Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel.
You Israelites, come on.
For the Lord hath a controversy.
For the Lord has some serious disagreements with how wrong, in the wrongful actions that we are doing to each other. Okay, go ahead.
With the inhabitants of the land.
With the inhabitants of the land. Listen to the next part. Come on.
Because there is no truth.
That part right there lets you know what controversy means. The reason why God is angry is because there is no truth in the land. If there was truth in the land, God wouldn't be against it.
Right.
So controversy means against truth. Here we trying to find the answer in the dictionary. The Bible just gave it to us.
Right.
Lord have mercy.
That's
the beauty
dictionary
about it.
right there.
That's the dictionary right there. Yeah. So get hip to that. Read.
Nor mercy.
There's no mercy in this land. And like I said, this was talking about us in the past, but this we brought into a system that deals with us just like what we're reading.
Right.
There is no truth in this land where we're at now in our captivity. There's no mercy in this land for us. The horrors that we catch, the bad treatment, the wrongful dealings, rigged juries, miseducated, dope infested, dope pushings on us, murder incorporated, robbed, blackballed, blackmailed, everything else, blacked everything.
Yeah, anything negative.
Anything negative, that's on us. Come on, no mercy.
Nor knowledge of God in the land.
And there is no knowledge of God in the land. So that's the reason why there's a controversy from the Most High, because God's truth is not being established here. And it's not being established, definitely ain't being established in these United States where the Israelites are in slavery. Right. Okay, read.
By swearing. And lying. And killing.
All of these are against the laws of the Most High. So that's the reason, again, why God has a controversy against this place. Come on.
And stealing.
That's obvious. Okay, we're standing on stolen land.
Right.
Come on.
And committing adultery.
When the conquistadors came over here, they raped the women. These women were not savages. These women were married. They're talking about the North American Indian women. They were married. and this beast came over here and raped them. So that was adultery there. You did that. Go ahead. Now you want to hide it. You don't want to talk about it. Talking about some critical race theory and 1619 makes everybody look at us like we're the devil. That's what the real problem is. You don't want your skirts lifted. I know what it is. I know what's wrong with you.
Right.
Come on, read.
They break out, and blood toucheth blood.
And blood touching blood. Okay? Meaning that's how they kill us wholesale. Now, we're going to get right into it. Give me my first video. The CRT controversy. This is what I'm going to call it. Now, we're going to play some of this thing here. I gave you the times, right? Let's start from the beginning and play to 3:30. Hit me.
Americans are in the streets tonight demanding justice after the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis.
Students across the country are continuing to call for reform in their education system.
2020 reignited the push to change how schools teach America's youth about race.
When you bring in different perspectives and different people's stories and experience, it enriches education. It expands all children's learning.
They want entire schools turned over to that sort of teaching being the center of all curricula. That's not an education. That is an academy of anti-racism.
Rumblings of resistance turned into a full-blown backlash.
The way diversity was being practiced at Riverdale was diminishing people.
When you hear them talk about the sin of whiteness, what you're watching is the death of our future as a country.
Protests against so-called critical race theory turned political and are putting targets on teachers' backs.
The Sullivan County teacher is a step closer to being fired by the school district.
We've discussed things like COVID, Me Too, climate change.
Have you ever received complaints about any of the other issues?
No, never.
Just on race?
Just on race.
Now, sweeping bans are also setting their sights on subjects well beyond race.
CRT is the catchphrase. What is actually happening in this bill is that you're not allowed to talk about racism, you're not allowed to talk about sexism, you're not allowed to talk about sexual orientation. And it has had a chilling effect.
The intention is really to put us in this war against each other.
The trials of critical race theory, as they call it.
So good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. Last fall, I pulled my kids from Riverdale Country School. What schools like Riverdale are doing to our children in the name of anti-racism is in fact teaching them racism.
In 2021, investor and entrepreneur Brian Bartning launched FAIR, which stands for Foundation Against Intolerance and Racism.
I can't take it no more. They got Dr. Martin Luther King face up there. All right, I just want y'all to notice that. Go ahead.
Racism. He says FAIR is a response to the diversity and inclusion efforts at his kids' private school, which he believes are exacerbating the problem they were created to solve.
So tell me about FAIR. What is the organization about? What are your aims?
FAIR is committed to advancing civil rights and liberties and a common culture of fairness, understanding, and humanity.
Can I pause just for a second?
Yeah.
So
I was going to go back through it because there's a lot in the beginning that I wanted to get. But go ahead, jump
but
on.
I was just kind of meditating while, they
Go
put
ahead.
Dr. Martin Luther King up there. So I'm thinking back. So what they trying to do? Revive the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King? Is that what they're trying to do?
It looks like to me that they put that there to try to say that they're not racist.
Right.
Because they don't give a damn. Dr. King was murdered in America, so what the hell are people talking about?
That's what I'm trying to understand.
He's murdered here.
But in their mind, I'm thinking little black boys and little black girls holding hands. So let's do away with all the history.
He's just basically a prop. They just put his face up there as a prop.
Exactly.
But they didn't really believe. They didn't even really believe in what Dr. King was talking about, because Dr. King said, "Yo, we got to have some stuff rolling our way too." Right. He said in one of the videos, he said, "Listen, we coming to get our check."
Mm-hmm.
He said we're coming to get our check. Where's that part of the Dr. King at? Okay, he said that there was millions and millions of acres of land that they were just given to white folks. Told them to come over here and get this free land. Meanwhile, we've been over here slavery, didn't catch a damn thing. We ain't even have no damn boots. Talking about pull yourselves up by your own bootstraps.
Right.
Dr. King talked about this. So why you gonna put his picture up there when you really don't mean nothing? Because the unsuspecting people of us will see a black face, they recognize him, and then they say, "Oh, well, maybe critical race theory and them having this their opposition to teaching the facts ain't so bad." Because Dr. King would have agreed with what we're doing. That's basically what they're saying.
Right.
Talking about fair. Right. Fair means you so-called white people got to go to jail. Right. That's what fairness. That's what fairness is.
Justice.
Hey, so I'm about to go. I'm about to go into it. Give me Deuteronomy. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna take it.
No,
just real quick. Deuteronomy 27:17. Talking about fair. Lord have mercy. Hey, we're gonna back that video up again. Back it up from the beginning. 27:17. We're gonna run through it real quick because I want to get to these other videos. Brothers got their teeth ready to sink it in. I know. We're gonna get it.
This is the book.
Yeah. Deuteronomy 27 verse 17.
Deuteronomy.
I said all these Edomites need to go to jail. Talking about fair. What's fair is them going to jail.
Doing some time.
Read. Doing some time.
Deuteronomy chapter 27 verse 17.
People have been bamboozled in this system with these people lying to us. Talking about justice. Come on.
Cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark.
Cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark. The neighbor, and people talking about some love your neighbor. Were not the Indians, the Native Americans, wouldn't they be how they would say it? Yeah. If they talking about love thy neighbor, loving, here we got to love everybody but us.
Wow.
And then they talking about love your neighbor. Love your neighbor even though I'm trying to kill you.
Right.
Love your neighbor even though I'm trying to throw you out in the street. Love your neighbor even though I'm robbing the hell out of you.
Right.
So were not the Native American Indians, were they not neighborly? They were literally neighborly.
Very.
They brought them in and taught them how to feed, taught them how to plant corn and crops and all that. They didn't know none of that.
Exactly.
The North American Indian, from some of the records that I read, didn't even know what a common cold was before these people came over. They brought over those nasty diseases and smallpox and all that. They brought all of that over to wipe God out. Neighborly. Read that again.
Cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark.
A landmark of a neighbor is his plot that he says, this is my land. Your property marker, so you can understand. That's what your plot would be. That removes his neighbor's landmark. The landmark is the plot that says this land is yours. This man removed it literally. Sent them on the Trail of Tears, pushed them all out of the better parts of the country and put them on reservations. What the hell are reservations? Reserving the people. Hey, the so-called North American Indians own the whole house.
Right.
You're going to put them in the bathroom and say, you're in the bathroom. We're going to reserve you there.
Right.
And we're going to take the rest of the house. The living room, the dining room, the garage, the kitchen, everything else, we taking that. But you can live in the bathroom. And then you talking about some fair. Read it again.
Cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark.
The Bible says, cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark. So again, this shows you why there's a controversy, because that is not happening here. That is not happening. Okay. The truth about what happened is not being told to the students. Now we're going to go even further into this thing, because notice Esau is using the excuse of saying we don't want our kids to feel shameful about their demonic past.
Right.
Because they're saying, listen, because the first thing they're going to say is, look, we had nothing to do with that. That was our fathers and such, even though they're benefiting from what their fathers did.
Right.
But they say, if you teach the truth that these people are the devil, that's basically what they're afraid of. They're afraid that the information going to come out that these so-called white people are the devil. And they don't want that to happen, because that means they're supposedly walking around stigmatized, like every time you say, why are you looking at me like that?
Right.
You know, and they'll start having that complex. Don't be fooled, man. These white folks ain't got no damn complex. You black people get the complex. That stuff don't bother them at all.
Right.
They don't feel bad about what they did. They know it.
No, exactly.
They make you think that they're going to be bothered because we were bothered by the stigma that they did to us. Totally different. Read that Bible again. Then we'll get back into this thing. Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 17. Cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark.
Go ahead.
And all the people shall say, Amen.
And all of the people were in agreement with that judgment. That's what that means. We were all in agreement with that judgment. So all these people are supposed to go to jail. Okay. Now, start the video off again.
Americans are in the streets tonight demanding justice after the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis.
This is over.
Across the country are continuing
They're talking about they're talking about the uprising that happened with George Floyd. I want you to. That's the reason why I want to go over it again. They're giving you a little bit of backdrop as to where all this is coming from. So when Derek Chauvin killed, murdered George Floyd in broad daylight on the street, the country went crazy. So that's what they're talking about here. So you got people going wild because George Floyd was murdered in the streets. Play on.
The country are continuing to call for reform in their education system.
So not only that, so they're saying, listen, now not only that, they said that they're calling for a reform of the American educational system. Keep that in mind. So that's when they really started to bring out. That's when things like CRT really hit the forefront. 1619 really hit the forefront because now the black people felt that they had a vehicle to really push these issues to the forefront, because before that it was all hidden. We've been talking about trying to teach our history. We've been started taking our kids out of these wicked schools and all of that. We've been doing that. But now that this national murder happened on worldwide television, certain black people say, you know what, this is the time for us to push this agenda to try to teach everybody our true history.
Right.
Okay. And when that happened, America fought back, and we're going to show you how America fought back. So basically what's happening here is that you got people protesting about the evil that was happening to black people that everybody saw. Play on.
2020 reignited the push to change how schools teach America's youth about race.
When you bring in different perspectives and different people's stories and experience, it enriches education. It expands all children's learning.
They want entire schools turned over to that sort of teaching being the center of all curricula. That's not an education. That is an academy of anti-racism.
Rumblings of resistance turned into a full-blown backlash.
The way diversity was being practiced at Riverdale was diminishing people.
When you hear them talk about the sin of whiteness, what you're watching is the death of our future as a
Stop. When he said, when you're talking about the sin of whiteness, he's saying it like that coat don't belong on them.
Right.
The sin of white folks is on them like a straitjacket. They can't get that thing off of them because everything that they've done had murder to do with it. We just read it. Murder, or even though it was talking about us, but it's definitely talking about you today. Okay? The murder and the lynchings and the hangings and the burnings and the castrations, rape, all of it. You are that man of sin that we read about in the Bible.
The son of perdition.
The son of perdition. You're the son of hell. That's what it's talking about. So you don't want the world to see that.
Right.
You don't want your skirts lifted like Isaiah 47 talks about. You don't want that happening. You don't want the nations to see the shame of you. So that's what we're talking about here. Back it up just a little bit because they're saying some things here. Right there. Go ahead.
Was being practiced at Riverdale was diminishing people.
When you hear them talk about the sin of whiteness,
he said that what was being taught, the reason why he had taken his kids out of the school system, he's saying because the curriculum was teaching us about diminishing us. Black people have been diminished in every nuance of this country.
Right.
So, but when the Edomites felt like just a little bit of truth was going to come out, which alternatively is going to point to them being the perpetrators of all of the violence.
Right.
People are going to rightfully look at them and see them as the evil, see them as the devils. And they said, we don't want our kids to feel that way. That's what this whole thing is about. What this really is about is they don't want this Bible to come out. We're going to show you that in this episode here, brothers and sisters. We're going to get it in.
And like we just quoted, too, that's 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, where it said, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. He's being revealed, and he can't stop it.
Right. And you know what's beautiful about it? They are so I don't want to use the word paranoid because again, they just it's easy for them to be demons. But they know that even because the people that's behind CRT ain't in the Bible. The people that's behind the 1619 project is not in the Bible. But they said, but those two things, including and even rap music. I made a point about rap music. During the time of Public Enemy, Chuck D, KRS-One, Lakem Shabazz, and these brothers that was teaching was bringing certain facts out, historical facts out in the records. They, even though none of that was talking about the Bible, but the people that were against it, they said, but even though they're not in the Bible, that those vehicles can be used as a conduit to bring the lost sheep to the Bible. So we need to cut even that off.
Right.
So just like they were against CRT or critical race theory, just like they are against 1619, you had a group called PMRC, Parents Music Resource Center, during the time of the 80s the mid 80s that was against the groups that was rapping about sense, that made some sense.
Right. Conscious
rap.
Right.
And they got involved in that. Now what you got? Now you got all a bunch of foolishness. They're happy with that. They're happy with the stupid rap that they got out now.
Mumbling.
But back then, they didn't want none of that. It's the same ploy to stop truth from coming out.
Right.
And the truth, even in those terms, was not the Bible, but the wise ones said that even if you allow that, you're giving these people a voice, you're giving them a platform, you're giving them that microphone, and they might start speaking truth.
Right.
Like that brother, what was it, Kendrick Lamar?
Yes,
at one point.
Yes, sir.
So when he mentioned Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter, millions of records went all over the place. They said, oh, hell no.
They might make the connection.
That's right. So that's what they were really afraid of.
Hey, Bishop.
Go ahead.
That, like you just mentioned, KRS-One, Public Enemy. At that time, they knew that had to stop.
Yes.
And then,
right, they had to shut that down.
And then what they did was they took it, took the positive and brought the negative in it.
Exactly.
Now it's a product of it today.
Exactly. And that was calculated. That was
calculated. Exactly.
But it was easy to shine the negative on us.
Right.
Now that the roles are starting to flip around, the lights starting to turn around and shine on them. Oh, no. We got to get that off of it.
Right.
Like that.
But that shows you that these people think deep. We're going to show you how deep they think. Go on, play some more.
The way diversity was being practiced at Riverdale was diminishing people.
When you hear them talk about the sin of whiteness, what you're watching is the death of our future as a country.
The death, what you're watching is the death of, he's trying to rally his Edomites. He said, if you allow them to teach the facts about history, you are allowing the death of this country.
Yeah.
Because because the truth is the truth. And if you allow this truth to be taught, we're going to be in trouble.
They running from it.
They running from
words
it.
they saying out of their own mouth.
Right.
Right.
That's what they're really saying. Let me tell you what they're worried about. Give me Isaiah 13. Give me Isaiah 13. This is what they're worried about. They're worried about this problem right here.
Oh boy.
Isaiah 13 verse 14. No, I ain't gonna read all of it. Just a little piece. This is what they're afraid of, because there's another part of the scriptures that say the people gonna send a taunting proverb against them and say, woe be unto them that increaseth that which is not his. You know what? I need that too. Give me Habakkuk. Let me get that first. Habakkuk 2 and Habakkuk 2 and like 6. Give me the 5th verse. Habakkuk 2 and 5 and 6.
Yes, sir.
Come on. Habakkuk 2 and 5.
This is the book of Habakkuk.
Then we get Isaiah. I ain't going to lose my point. We getting ready to get into it. We got more coming.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine.
Give me verse 4 so we can find out who we're talking about.
Verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him.
How could you look at this man? His soul, his spirit, his whole being, his sinful nature is lifted up, and it is not right. He is a wrong man. He's Mr. Wrong. Okay. I think his sister, the woman Sade made a song called Mr. Wrong. He's Mr. Wrong.
Right.
Okay.
So you say he lifted up. You talking about that pride.
Yeah, he got that pride.
Yes.
He got that pride in the spirit. Read.
But the just shall live by his faith.
We're the just. We're the just. We're the Israelites, and we shall live by the Bible. Go ahead.
Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine.
He transgresseth. He is the sinful. That's the reason why this man was saying that. What's his name? Tucker Carlson. Okay? He's the sinful man. Yes, he transgressed by wine. His philosophy, his ideas,
theories,
his whole theories, the way he run things, his philosophies, his policies. Read.
He is a proud man.
He is a proud man. That's the lifting up that you was talking about, Captain.
Yes,
come on.
Neither keepeth at home.
Neither stay at home. He's a robber everywhere. Not only did he steal Gad's land and Reuben, he went everywhere on the planet Earth and stole all their riches, stole their wealth, stole their resources, stole all of that, took it back and built up the golden city and left the people sitting in their lands on the ground.
And then
now they
murder them all, trying to murder the whole nation.
Exactly. That's how this man get down. And they don't want the facts to be taught about this because everybody's going to look at them the way they're supposed to look at him, like you're the devil. They that narrowly see thee shall narrowly look upon you and consider thee. That's what it's talking about. Read.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell.
His desire, his appetite. That's his desire. His appetite is as hell. He cannot be satisfied. Listen to what the Bible is saying. That's only him. Read.
And is as death.
And he brings death. Everywhere he goes, death follows. Read. Put some fire in that reading, brother. Come on.
And cannot be satisfied.
And he cannot be satisfied. He can't. You can't. It's like trying to charm a snake. What the snake gonna say?
Right.
Bitch.
You
know it was a snake. You
Yeah.
can't satisfy a snake. That's
No
what
way.
they basically saying.
Right.
That's what it's saying. It cannot be satisfied. That's what the snake said. Don't get mad at me. Tell me, why are you using words like that? The
Right.
snake said to the woman after the woman took the snake in and nursed
Right.
it to health, comforting it, warmed it up.
Just going to
She went to pet the snake. Come here, nice snake. Rubbed the snake on the head. And the snake said, "Bap!" and bit her on the cheek. She died. Why'd you bite me? The snake looked at her. Bitch. You knew I was a snake.
Right.
And then she dead.
Yeah.
So these people can't be satisfied. How in the world you gonna be on stolen land? You brought us over here on the slave ship, worked us, robbed, took our mind, used us like machinery.
Very soul of us.
Just stripped us down to nothing, made Negroes out of us.
Right. Bishop said you use us like machinery.
Hey, a white man called it. A white man said that on a talk show. He said that because our technology, he called black people obsolete farm machinery.
Damn.
That's what he called us. He said you are not. He said we don't even need you in slavery no more. We got our own things now. Right now you're just obsolete farm machinery.
Damn. Out of date.
That's how they feel about us. Wow. Go ahead.
But gathereth unto him all nations.
But gathereth unto him all nations. That's what he did. Meaning because they got to come over here to try to get some of their wealth that was stolen from them.
Right.
Try to get some of their resources back. That's the reason why all these people are here in this country. Go ahead.
And heapeth unto him all people.
Because they trying to get their stuff back. They ain't necessarily trying to get together with you. Read.
Shall not all these.
Here we go. Shall not all these nations
take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb.
And a taunting proverb. A taunting proverb is something that you don't want to hear. That's what it means to be taunting. A taunting proverb is something that's a pain to your ears. You don't want to hear facts. You don't want to hear truth.
Right.
Go ahead.
And a taunting proverb against him.
Against him. Go ahead.
And say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Woe unto who?
Woe unto him.
Him meaning the man of sin. Woe be unto the man of sin that increaseth that which is not his. That is crystal clear. All of what they built up, they stole it from other people. Now that the truth is coming out, they don't want the people to know that. Talking about something they don't want their quote unquote white kids to know that they're the devils. They don't want that. They don't want that thing. And they're gonna get some of us. They done made algorithms out of the black man.
Oh yeah.
That's what they did. They made a computer program in a black man to be against his own. That's something else.
Yeah, you're right.
So go ahead. Is that it on that? Woe be unto him that increaseth that which is not his, right? That's it on that verse, right?
It's a little bit more, sir.
Come on.
How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
Meaning he covers himself with his own people. How long, the prophet said, are you going to allow these people to continue ruling? Now give me Isaiah 13. This is what, woe be unto them that increaseth that which is not his. So the people are angry about all of the wealth and the robbery that they've committed among the nations and left people with oil fields. They're sitting on oil fields and can't even produce nothing because America's taking it from them.
Right.
They mad as hell. And you don't want the truth taught about you.
Right.
Come on.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 14. And it shall be.
And it. That's what I want to get into. And the it is the so-called white man. Read it again.
And it.
That's right. You got to bring that. And it. Go ahead.
Shall be as the chased roe.
And it, the white man, shall be as a chased sheep, as a chased deer. That's what it's talking about. Go ahead.
And as a sheep that no man taketh up.
Ain't nobody going to feel sorry for you when it's time for you to get your justice. So you're worrying about it now. That's all I need out of there. They're worrying about it now. Okay, I don't need no more out of that. Let's go back to where I was at. Where we was at. We was in the video, right? We're going back to the video. So my point is, everybody is going to be like, listen, these are the demons. Like in that movie, Natural Born Killer. These are the demons. He told his son, said, look, these are the demons. I was waiting for you to kill me because I know that's what you're coming to do. That's why he said it in that film. Lord have mercy. Negroes went and watched that, didn't know what the hell they were looking at. The white man was telling you he's the Satan that the Bible speaks of.
Exactly.
Clearly. That's what the whole movie was about. Put it in black and white. the white man is the devil.
Right.
That's all. You could have watched that for 2 hours and got the equivalent to what that movie was about.
They too tied up in the cinematics.
Yeah, they didn't catch none of that. That's amazing. All throughout the movie had not even innuendos, just straight up facts showing you that these people are evil as hell. So, go back to the video. So back it up. So now you got these people fighting because they're fighting. Show this thing on the screen. Look at all that mess that's happening inside a PTA meeting or in some kind of meeting where the community was upset that CRT is being taught to their precious white kids. Back it up a little bit. I know people don't like what we say. Yeah. Go back a little bit more. Let's get Tucker Carlson. Yeah, right there. Hold on. What did those words say? It says private school brought in diversity consultants. Outrage ensued. So this is what they were talking about. In the wake of George Floyd, elite institutions have tried to check their privileges, have tried to check their privilege. Not everybody is on board. Okay, that's what the article is about from New York Times. That's what they featured in this video. Let's play on. Hit the button.
Turned into a full-blown backlash.
The way diversity was being practiced at Riverdale was diminishing people.
When you hear them talk about the sin of whiteness, what you're watching is the death of our future as a country.
Protests against so-called critical race theory turned political and are putting targets on teachers' backs.
A Sullivan County teacher is a step closer to being fired by the school district.
We've discussed things like COVID, Me Too, climate change.
Have you ever received complaints about
Pause it. So he taught about COVID. He taught about climate change. All of these are supposed to be controversial issues. Right. But he didn't get any backlash until he started talking about CRT. This is a white dude now. Now, play on.
Any of the other issues?
No, never.
Just on race.
Just on race.
Now, sweeping bans are also setting their sights on
Now,
subjects.
hold on, because somebody might misunderstood what I just said. I said this is the Edomite teaching. Some Edomites in the system are clueless in terms of where they're supposed to be.
Right.
You understand? And sometimes, like the school board is ran by the elites. The institutions are ran by the elites. That's what CRT is talking about. But then you have some quote unquote peon white folks that work for these things, and they really quote unquote believe, at least on the surface, they really believe in this hands across America, all justice for everybody. And the elites are trying to say, dummy, if we're gonna have justice for everybody, we can't rule. So they said, well, being that you're too dumb to understand us, we firing you. And that's basically what happened to this dude here. Right. So he's talking all the right language that some Negroes want to hear.
Right.
But that stuff ain't reality.
Right.
If they were really gonna really be about justice, like I said, these people got to go to jail. Okay. Go ahead, play on.
Subjects well beyond race.
CRT is the catchphrase. What is actually happening in this bill is that you're not allowed to talk about racism, you're not allowed to talk about sexism, you're not allowed to talk about sexual orientation. And it has had a chilling effect.
The intention is really to put us in this war against each other.
Hold on. I can't let her slide by.
Yeah.
So CRT is designed to put us at war against it. Like we're not at war already.
We've been at war.
We've been at war. It was a war bringing your black ass over here.
Right.
What the hell is this?
Right.
For you to be brought over, that was a war that took place to even bring us over here.
Right.
So there I go again, getting excited saying black ass. But that's the deal.
And
It was a war that brought us over here.
Right.
When they call it a war on drugs, that was a war on black people.
Right.
There ain't no war on drugs.
Right.
They were friendly with the drugs as they were bringing it in.
Right.
Wait a minute, let me say that again. They were in bed with the drugs when the drugs came in, so they loved the drugs. There was no war on drugs. It was a war on you.
Right.
The hell is this?
Right.
To put you in the cage.
Put you in the cage. The drugs are still out there doing its thing. Ain't mad at them daggone drugs.
And Bishop, this is exactly why they don't want you to teach racism. They don't want you to teach the truth. That's pretty much what they're saying. Can we get Ezekiel 35 and verse 5 real quick? Ezekiel 34. They don't want you to teach the truth. That's why they up against us. That's why they up against IUIC. Start at verse 2 real quick so it said talk about who it's talking about. So it lets you know who it's talking about.
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir.
You Israelites, set your face against Mount Seir, the so-called white man's Esau. Go out there on the streets and tell the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who they are. Let them know that they have a person or a nation that hates their guts, and they've been showing that evidence since 1492 when they came over here and stole the land. When they raped your brother, your brothers.
You said it right.
Your brothers, your mothers, your grandmothers.
And
they
your
took
sisters.
your resources. They did all of that to you. Jump down to verse, and this is why they don't want the truth to come out. Talking about racism. No, it's the truth. Right. Go ahead and bring out verse 5.
Verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
You see that? They always had a hatred for you Israelites. They so much they'll take the last grape. They'll take everything from you. Your land, your resources, and they'll keep taking it and keep taking it till you got no more. Go ahead.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
And they shed your blood, Israel. They shed your blood. They murdered your fathers. They took your images. They took your gold. Go ahead, read on.
By the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity.
Keep going.
Had an end.
Go ahead.
Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God.
And this is the reason right here. This verse right here is the reason why they do not want the truth, or they say they don't want racism taught. Read on.
I will prepare thee unto blood.
I will prepare you unto blood. Why?
And blood shall pursue thee. Since thou have not hated blood.
Since you have not hated blood, they have raped, they have killed our people, they have shot us down. They ask for our license and they shoot us down. You get pulled over for a traffic stop, you get shot down. Since you have not hated blood, Esau, read on.
Even blood shall pursue thee.
Now this is why they don't want the truth to come out.
Exactly.
Because they know judgment. Now they got to face accountability.
Right. Yes.
That's why they don't want it to come out.
Now I'm gonna show you how slick they are. Because I wanted to play some more of this. Now give me the picture. Give me the picture. There's a picture that I want y'all to see. Because black people didn't realize how slick Esau is. First of all, hold it. Give me Psalm 64. Give me that scripture.
I'm already there.
Yeah, you already there? You already in the spirit? Read that daggone thing first. Let me see. Before you show it, hit it. Read it. Psalm 64, give me the verse, the thought of every one of them. Because this is.
You got it. Sorry.
Verse 6. Psalms chapter 64, verse 6. They search out iniquities.
They search out iniquity, meaning Esau, the Edomites, the so-called white people. They search out sin. That's why Tucker Carlson was all upset. Because he don't want nobody to find. He don't want the people to learn that that's their boiling pot.
MO.
They love that thing. Yeah. Right. That's their cauldron. Read.
They accomplish a diligent search.
They accomplish a diligent search. Come on.
Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
And the thought. Read it again. Read it faster. Put it together.
I got you.
Come on.
Psalms chapter 64 and verse 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
They accomplish a diligent search. They diligently look for things where they can use to further their agenda. Go ahead.
Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
And in their mind is deep. They got deep thoughts when they are thinking about how to further their agenda. Okay, that's the part that I want y'all to get. That they're very calculated in how they move. So now, guess what was happening? Put the thing up there. Negroes lost their mind. When this was going on, you had Edomites, you had them tearing down Confederate statues, all of that, and black people were happy. Blacks were happy. Show the picture over here, and I'm gonna read what it says here. I'm gonna read because this is what we and the deacons and bishops were talking about this. Blacks were happy when Esau said, let's remove racist statues. Okay? Then now you got it. There you go. Blacks were happy when Esau said, let's remove racist statues. Yay! They was like, yeah, we finally getting a fair America.
Right. Yeah, right.
America's not racist anymore, blah, blah, blah. Negroes lost their mind. They saw the statues being torn down. The heart of every one of them is deep, is calculated. And then it says, but they didn't realize how deep Esau thought is on that. Remove all history in the schools about slavery. It was definitely calculated. Right. So in other words, how you going to get on us about not how you going to complain and want CRT when we tore down our racist statues.
Right.
That's what they're saying. We're going to talk more about this because there's more to this thing.
Can I bring out one scripture?
Yeah.
Get Ecclesiastes 7:7 real quick, real fast.
They got rid of the evidence.
Yeah,
right. That's all they're doing.
Right. That's the point.
We ain't done with this here. We're going to make some sense out of this.
Go ahead, read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
So our people been getting oppressed here in America.
Right.
But now they get one little thing. Go ahead.
And a gift destroyeth the heart.
Now you take down these statues. Now they think everything is okay.
Right.
Now I can walk down the street with good old Becky.
A
and
statue.
Everything, right. And
a
everything
statue.
is all right.
This has nothing to do with white teachings.
Right.
White folks think the way they think. They ain't got nothing to do with no damn statue.
Right.
They've been racist from the birth,
Right.
like Psalms 58 said. They were wicked from the womb. So you tearing down some statues ain't changing down nothing.
Nope.
But they did that because they know that you Negroes was going to be like, yay, just like we wrote. Yay. So now you talking about,
I was going to say, they still going to teach their children to hate your black
Exactly.
guts.
Right. So while we was all happy about it, not realizing that when they take away the ability for us to talk about the truth, they say, well, why you want to do that? We tore down ours.
Right.
Now you need to tear down yours. We are the victims of everything that they said about us. How did they feel? They didn't. Their world ain't turned upside down because of us.
And you know the detriment behind that, Bishop? You lose all sense of history. If they pull down these statues right here, now you never, if they don't teach it to you, you never know that they did these things to your people.
That's black folks. But inside the white homes, they got all the books.
Yeah,
they got the films. They got it all about how they dealt with us.
Right.
So they ain't forgot about nothing.
They got the land.
The system is already racist.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, racist against us. Now that we want to tell about it, they say you don't need to tell us. You don't need to talk about it. Damn, we ain't done with this yet. Hey, there's where we at in the break? Is it time for us to take a break? All right, let's take the break and then we're gonna come back because we got a lot that we want to bring you. So let's take the break now because from here on out we're gonna go all the way in. Okay, so let's take the break now. And then we'll be back after these words.
What club was that at?
That was admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
With the Zulu Nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again, 31.
To the Most High, praises to the Most High. So we're going to continue on. When I was talking about Dr. King earlier, because there was a group within this video where they showed a prop, I would call it, the picture of Dr. Martin Luther King, and I was making points about what Dr. Martin Luther King was really about. So they really just put that face up there to make you think that he was about them banning CRT, that Dr. Martin Luther King was about banning 1619, with nothing of the sort. Okay, and I said that Dr. King made statements about how this country was really getting down. We found a video. Play it for the brothers.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress.
Hold it, stop. For an act, hold it. From an act of Congress. This is CRT, because the whole point about CRT, critical race theory, the point behind that is saying that the system, the government, and the Congress and all that, they themselves have the racism in their policies. It was a government policy to not give black people land. So CRT is accurate. That's the point. Back it up again, get that statement. And they got the nerve to have Dr. King's face on something.
Right.
At the same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today, many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. Now, this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
There you go. So they don't want to talk about that,
Right.
but they want to put his face up there.
Exactly. This is the reason why they killed him right here, because he
Right.
was speaking. Started
Exactly,
he was speaking truth.
Yes.
And notice all of the stuff that he was saying. He was talking about government money, colleges. That's system. That's the government. That's Congress.
Right. He was talking about giving it to
Giving
their
it to
people.
them
But
at low interest rates and all of that.
Right. But to us, he's saying, "Pull you niggas go out there and
Right.
pull yourself up by
your
boot.
own bootstraps when we didn't even have no damn boots."
You start talking like that, now you got to go.
Dr. Martin Luther King said, "How in the world you gonna tell a bootless man to pull his boots up by his own bootstrap when he didn't even have boots?"
Wow.
So these people was not about facts at all.
Right.
Now let's go back to the video that I was playing earlier. Okay, let's go back to the video that I was playing earlier, and we're going to go to the time that I gave you, 3:30, and then we're going to jump to 6:16. Come on, hit it.
So good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. Last fall, I pulled my kids from Riverdale Country School. What schools like Riverdale are doing to our children in the name of anti-racism is in fact teaching them racism.
In 2021, investor and entrepreneur
Wait. They said they pulled their children out of the public school, out of this private school, because when they were learning about the truth of this system, they interpret that as racism.
Right.
They interpret that as a hate group. I'm just showing you how these people are. Anything that deals with, like they call us a hate group.
Right.
They call us a hate group when we're bringing out facts. Ain't nothing, no hate group about this here. We're telling the truth. They were talking about bringing out truth in the schools, for what truth really, because they ain't gonna get to the Bible, but they're just trying to bring out historical
facts.
Some historical. They ain't gonna bring it all the way out.
No,
they ain't gonna show how we were tarred and feathered. They ain't gonna bring all that stuff up, but they're just gonna bring out little parts of it. And white folks will be sitting back and be like, "Damn, we some evil as hell." That's what they were saying. But these people ain't bothered by their own history. They do it. You understand? But it even shows
proud of it.
It shows you how these people think. They make the point in saying that we're not even going to allow our children to even hear this. So we're going to pull them out of the schools because we don't want them to be changed from what we made them. So how come that same argument didn't pertain to us? Look at what the school systems did to our people. How come they didn't? How come we didn't? Nobody encouraged us to pull our kids out of the killing field called education. All kind of vacant esteem issues happen, self-hatred. All kind of. I was going to bring all that information out. I got a lot of it, but like I said, I'll save it for when I go into the next subject. I'm going to go, Lord willing, I'm going to go deep into these things here. But the problems that we allowed our children to sit in these death fields called classrooms, in these tombstones, cemetery road seating. As we were sitting there and learned about Little Black Sambo, learned about garbage like that. All kind of evil. Hey, let me show you what they taught our people. There's a picture that I put up there. Hold it. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that they did to us. Give me that one over there in the corner. Move it over the other way. The next one. Listen, don't move too fast. The monkey thing. Oh, I didn't even want to say it. I want the brothers to click that. Hit that. This is what we taught. This is what they taught us. Look at this. How come, where was our parents to say we're taking our kids out of the school? We couldn't even do that. This is what they taught us. Scientists say Negro is still in ape stage. Think about what that does to us. Wow. Think about what that does to our mentality. Think about what that does to us as we relate to each other. Ain't nobody said a damn thing. And we went through generations of this kind of sickness. Wow. Generations of this. And the minute they even talk about bringing out the truth about what these demons did to our people, you're talking about something, this is reverse racism. Our people are stupid as hell believing in this mess. We better turn to the Most High and realize that these people got to go.
Can you imagine being a young child and
they did this
and have to read this and have to read this in school? Then you go home to your parents and tell them this, and the Esau, he was like, man, I'm taking my kids out
before it even come up.
Right, but you can't do that. Your parents is going to tell you, oh, baby, that's just what they teach you.
We're talking about trying to build. We're trying to listen. Build your own schools. Teach your children the Bible. Teach your children their great heritage that's in this Bible.
Right.
And we're reluctant to do that. But the minute they heard anything that got even close to their real history about what these demons did to us, they're talking about something, we're taking our children out.
Yeah. Think about how this made them feel to read this in the school system.
Yes. Right. Let's read what it say. Let's move it up. Zoom it in.
Bring it over on the other one.
That says evidence of how widespread this belief can be. Well, let's read the whole thing. Look at what they say. They said the ape on one side and the Negro, and they're basically using the same image. Understand what's happening here. Think about how that affects the mindset of your own children.
I'm sorry, Bishop. If you look at the image, the ape they got with a smile.
Yeah.
The Negro looked mean.
Damn. Man. Wow. They love the ape more.
Oh my goodness, man. These people.
This is what they say. It says scientists. That's government there.
Right.
Scientists.
Right.
They're talking about some critical race, because the controversy was about critical race theory. Says this is what they say, that the system is inherently racist, that the system, there's a systematic racism that is against our people. Well, scientists come out of a system. Scientists say that the black folks that you name Negro is still in the ape stage. We ain't never came from no damn ape. Right. But you taught us that.
The scientists work for the government.
Exactly, and that's the whole point. So it says races positively ain't equal. This is what they said. This is them. That's the reason why they say you got colored water fountains. You can't even you got to sit on a different toilet. Man, you went and fought in the military, come home and can't even sit in the same barracks. That kind of stuff is going on. You got to use a bathroom on the side of the road. Stuff like that. The reason why the Black Wall Street thing happened, by the way, where the brother ended up in the elevator with the woman, and then they made a whole thing out of it, because that was the only place where he can go to the bathroom. He was working for a white man, and he needed to go to the bathroom, and he could not use the white man's bathroom, the boss that he was working for. He said, nope, you need to go down to the certain building, go up to the certain floor, because there's a bathroom for you to use, nigga. That's how that was. This is history. This is in their history. So let's open that up. Move on down. Slide down. Let's get some order. It says evidence of how widespread this belief is can be seen in a recent issue of Ebony magazine, December 1979, when Karen Stevenson, the first black woman to win the so-called Rhodes Scholar Award, reported that while in Russia, a Soviet Union citizen was shocked to find out that she was attending a university. He called her a subspecies. Someone else on the street called her a monkey. So that image went all the way over to the Soviet Union. This woman's smart as hell. She gets the quote-unquote Rhodes Scholar, whatever that's worth. You know, I've heard of those things. She got that. And the so-called, the white man in Russia looked at her and said, how the hell you monkeys, basically, how the hell you monkeys get inside this kind of echelon in our system? How did you make it up to this? Because they've been taught that we were monkeys. This is a whole system that taught us to think this way. That's the point. That's what's happening here. So just think about stuff like that. And then they cry reverse racism. BS. They don't want the truth to be told.
Right. Why is the Negro so savage and rebellious in our big cities?
So when you have quote unquote authority figures telling your sons and daughters this here, it's no mystery as to why we have a vacant esteem about ourselves. It's no mystery as to why we deal with each other the way we deal with each other. Exactly. Because we were taught that. And if you want to tell the truth about how you programmed us, you call that reverse racism. Right. You call that hate.
And I'm reading some of this stuff. Look at the comparisons.
Yeah.
All Negroes
big
got
hands.
short legs.
Yeah, short legs. Protruding heel. And this is what they say about us. But this is how they really dealt with
Small
us.
brain.
Like we some damn specimen.
20-ounce brain.
And we're the sons and daughters of God. You're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for that. I'm just letting you know now, you're going to pay for all this evil. And you ain't getting out of it either. Trying to stop it from being taught. You're trying to stop any conduit that might lead our people to this truth. Let's get me back to my video, man. Let's get this thing so we can get on into this next video. You know I want to do that. Shoot. Hit it.
Or Brian Bartning launched FAIR, which stands for Foundation Against Intolerance.
Hold it. So what does this stand for? It says fairness stands for what? Back it up a little bit. Let's get the acronym. What did it say? And then they got his quote there.
See, that's what I was talking about earlier. I didn't see the quote.
They got his quote. They got like he's actually okay in the fact that we can't teach about what really happened to us when we just got through hearing how they systematically wronged the black man. That's the disrespect that they have toward King.
And
they didn't love him either.
Right. You mentioned this before. They'll edit things to make things look
fit for them.
Yeah,
exactly. That shows you the absolute contempt and disrespect that they have towards us.
Right.
And I'm saying all of this because it's time for us to realize this here and come together. That's the reason why I say that we have to learn we have to learn to organize underneath the righteousness of God. Right. Because if we don't, we're gonna die. We have to be forced into organizing underneath God's commandments. Because this is the reality that's coming up here now. We can act like we sleep, we can act like we're playing games, but these kinds of things is really going down right now today. Okay, hit that button.
Launched FAIR, which stands for Foundation Against Intolerance and Racism.
Foundation Against Intolerance and Racism. But they use Dr. King's things. So fairness against intolerance and racism. So they're basically saying that intolerance and racism is CRT. Intolerance and racism is the 1619 Project, and they got Dr. King's face on there.
Wow.
That's the total disrespect.
They went through that so fast, Bishop. I didn't even, like I said, in my mind, when I saw Dr. King, the first thing come to my mind was him saying little black boys and black girls hold hands. And Durham, they ain't got the quote up there.
Hey, zoom in on that quote if you can. They got fairness. Now, they got fairness up there as if this country was really fair with us. This is ridiculous. This says, they quoted Dr. King. They reduced him down to a dream.
Right.
And they killed him when he woke up to reality. That's basically what happened. Right. It says, I have a dream that what did it say? That my 4 little white boys and girls, I can't see.
It says, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
What Esau is saying, that he's applying this to him. Don't judge me for being Satan. Don't judge me for being a devil. Don't judge me for raping and murdering your forefathers. Judge me because I smile at you and I gave you a raise, Negro. That I allowed you to play football. We're coming to that. That I allowed you to play football.
Wow.
Okay. Oh my goodness. That's what's happening. That's what they said. That's the disrespect that they have.
That I held the door for you.
That I held the door for you. Lord have mercy. Play on, man.
He says FAIR is a response to the diversity and inclusion efforts at his kid's private school, which he believes are exacerbating the problem they were created to solve.
So tell me about FAIR. What is the organization about? What are your aims?
FAIR is committed to advancing civil rights and liberties and a
liberties. You hear the hypocrisy? This guy's just spewing out poison. It's about civil rights and liberties. Where's the liberty for the Native American Indians? Where's the liberty of our people been brought over here and ain't been paid a dime for all of the free labor that we gave you for over 300 years of hardcore slave labor? Where's the fairness in that? Black Wall Street, they just started talking about it. 100 years has passed, literally. 99 years before they even allowed for it to even be on TV. About that massacre that happened down there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And now that people want to start talking about it, they say, well, if you teach it, my white boys and my white girls are going to feel like they're the devils. So don't do it because that's reverse racism. Man, I tell you, these people got to go. How in the world you going to reason with these kind of snake type of thinking people? You can't deal with it.
Ain't no way.
You're going to sit down and have a conversation with that kind of mentality.
Hey, Bishop, you hear how you talking like their people been in slavery the last few hundred years.
Yeah, exactly. They ain't been in no slavery at all.
Like they the victim.
Damn. Play on.
Common culture of fairness, understanding, and humanity. We're specifically focused on educating people about what I call an intolerant orthodoxy. We're not just defining ourselves by what we're against, right, being anti-racist, but we're also defining ourselves by what we're for, which is bringing people together and recognizing our shared humanity.
Bartning is one of a handful of parents who have gotten attention for their opposition to anti-racism efforts in New York City private schools.
We have made the decision to not re-enroll our daughter for next year. This critical race theory is really a cancer in our schools and in our...
Truth is really a cancer. Hold it. Truth is really a cancer, and because of that, I am not enrolling my children in school next year. And some of these guys, there's going to mention how much money he was paying for these kids to go to school. How many of us, because they said that it costs one child, in this private school, $60,000 a year per student. Black people can't even fathom that kind of money to pay for an education. They were paying for that kind of money for their children. So when they said you're going to learn the truth about this country, I'm pulling them out. Go ahead.
To not re-enroll our daughter for next year. This critical race theory is really a cancer in our schools and in our society.
I read this, that you took your kids out of the school in New York, and I have been
this woman, what's her name, Megan Kelly? Ain't that her?
I'm not sure who she is.
That white woman. Yeah, what's this woman's name? I've seen her. She be on Fox and all of that. Yeah, who's that? That's her. Megan Kelly.
Okay.
She took her kids out.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
Straight racist too.
Yeah, exactly.
Hearing anecdotally very much the same thing from many parents.
When we looked at Riverdale, it felt...
So that was it? Okay, 3:30. Now jump to 16.
Can I get a script for you?
Yeah. Get that scripture. Come on.
Give me Obadiah verse 10. So this is what's going on with these Edomites right now.
Hey, real quick, is that the woman that said that Jesus Christ, he just is white on the newscast?
Yes,
that's
her,
right. Okay.
That was her.
I just wanted to make sure.
Is that her? It might be her because there was another one. There's another Edomite woman.
I think that was the younger one. I forget her name.
Okay, it don't matter.
There's two of them that be making all that kind of noise. But come on.
You ready?
Yeah, bring it out.
The book of Obadiah, verse 10.
This is what's going on right here.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
It's right there.
Shame shall cover thee.
They don't want that.
What's going to cover them?
Shame shall cover thee.
They shame of how wicked they was. Right. And still is.
And it tell the reason why it said because of thy violence.
Because of thy violence.
It said that because of, that's what for means. Because of your violence against Jacob, shame shall cover you. God is bringing this thing out.
Yes,
and no matter how they try to hide this, they try to hide the CRT business. They don't want that. They try to hide the positive rap.
Exactly.
They try to hide the 1619. They ain't really worrying about that, but they said, but even that could lead the minds to that Bible. They don't want Malachi 4 that the Bible we be turned to the fathers and the fathers to the children. They don't want none of that to happen. And they said we got to get away. Like I said, I made a joke. I said they don't even want our people in the orbit of that Bible.
Right.
They said, I said they don't even want our people to get too close. Like the head might get inside. Like the Bible might just go by.
Get it away from them.
They said, hey, the Bible might pass by and they figured out the book. They said we don't want none of that to happen. The connection might happen.
Right.
They said, the orbit. Go ahead.
Read
that again, man.
Verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee.
And that's why they're trying to get this. They taking their children out to school.
Right.
Don't listen to that.
Don't
Basically
listen to that thing.
Cover their ears. They don't want that truth to come out. Read
Everywhere they go, people gonna be like, "You're the devils." They know what's coming. They know what's coming.
Right. And what's this last part, Bishop?
Go ahead.
And thou shall be cut off forever.
So when you put the two together,
there you go.
You know they're going to get cut off.
They know it.
Judgment that come behind what they done.
Here go the little white kids come home. I want to learn about Public Enemy. And I want to learn about the parent looking at them saying, this guy's the damn. This guy don't know what the hell is. Right. So they all afraid. The woman, the little girl come home and find a poster of Bobby Brown on the damn on the wall.
Exactly.
He losing his mind. They don't want that thing.
Right.
And the kids will be asking about it in ignorance. But the real parents know the deal. They said, listen, don't you know if you continue to bring these people around us, we going to die?
Yeah. judgment comes.
This is self-preservation, son. This is self-preservation, daughter. That's how they talk.
About it.
I'm gonna snatch you kids out of the damn school system. That's self-preservation.
They serious about that.
They serious about that thing.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
That's it, Bishop.
Go ahead. All right. So go ahead with the video.
School education. It seems as though it's become this sort of big bad boogeyman that many parents and organizations are alarmed that, students as young as, let's say, elementary school students are becoming preoccupied with race, with their skin color. What do you say to that?
That happened. Before you let her answer, that happened with us. We became preoccupied. I was going to show that. I guess I'll show that next week. Jawanza Kunjufu brought it out in his book about how the low expectations is put upon us in kindergarten up to the fourth grade. When the fourth grade a failure syndrome hit our kids. So we've learned the negativity about our own skin right there in the school system.
The doll test,
all that stuff, the doll test and all that.
Right.
Come on, hit it.
I feel empathy for parents who are so worried about the idea that their children are feeling shamed or that there's just too much focus on skin color. That's a privilege that you have when, in fact, you're part of what you might consider a monolith. So we don't have to talk about that. We can talk about other things. And that makes folks feel uncomfortable. But this is coming from a place of love. When I think of the work that Rise does, when I think of
this is coming from a place of love. Now she's confused.
Yeah, with that blonde hair.
She confused like hell. So go ahead, get to my time. We gonna move through this thing. Go ahead.
How I feel as a mom of 2 black children, it's centered around love and empathy.
Love and empathy. This is centered. This whole resistance against truth is centered around love and empathy. But our people are really messed up. We have no esteem about ourselves, and we don't even care about justice.
Right.
Go ahead.
One of the things that some of the parents that we've spoken to that are involved with FAIR say is a lot of these lessons and conversations around race are welcome, but we're going too far and we're starting too young.
What does too far look like? And what does too young look like? When we know that the challenges of structural racism is a public health crisis.
Stop. The challenge of, what did she say? The challenge of public, what was the word she used? Public what? She said the
public health crisis.
No, it was something before that.
Play it again.
Play that. Just back it up a couple of seconds. This is showing you that what CRT actually means. Go ahead.
When we know that the challenges of structural racism,
that's the word I was looking for. Structural, meaning that the racism in this country is structured. There's an infrastructure of racist policies that hold blacks and Hispanics back. Go ahead.
Is a public health crisis. The American Medical Association has proclaimed that. The CDC has proclaimed that. So to act as if racism doesn't exist and conversations.
So she's saying that the Medical Association and some other association is also is saying that structural racism is a fact. Go ahead.
Around healing and belonging don't need to happen. I just don't know where they're stuck at.
They're stuck in being the devil. That's where they're stuck at. Now, go on.
Anti-racism and diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts in schools have recently become fused with a decades-old academic legal concept known as critical race theory, or CRT, which acknowledges racial disparities that have persisted in U.S. history and offers a framework to understand how racism is enforced in U.S. law and culture. There's no evidence CRT is taught in K-12 schools, but some initiatives at the K-12 level are inspired by its tenets.
One problem with CRT is that it reinforces racism in that it implies that black people are in a permanently down condition, or we're in a down condition that can only change with some revolution in the way people think that deep down we know is never actually going to happen. Also, CRT has an implication that only so much can be expected of black people until this revolutionary change happens.
John McWhorter teaches linguistics at Columbia University and is a board member of FAIR.
Surely, though,
so that's the problem right there. He's a part of that daggone group. Go ahead.
Surely, though, you agree with some of the goals, perhaps not the tactics, but some of the goals that these people have. And what are they?
Oh, of course, power relations are important, that a great many people get the short end of the stick in society and really can barely change it. We do need to seek justice. We are an imperfect nation in a great many ways. We always have been, and we will be for a long time.
You keep using these words like we. And you're acknowledging that this is a racist system. Go ahead.
Long time. However, I contest the idea that these things are not taught already. Certainly, people need to learn about slavery, and not just a little. People need to learn what racism is, and that it's not just calling somebody the N-word or burning a cross on someone's lawn. All of that's very important, but that's not
they trivialize what slavery. If you don't even need to talk, because he was making some points about if you teach this. I was listening to what he said. He said if you teach about this about us being in slavery and tell us to learn that, it leads to a dependent. That's what he's trying to say. It leads to a dependency on us, like we need help to come up, and it'll cause others to look at us like we're some amoeba just trying to come into existence. But that's what actually happened. That's what actually happened. We were taught that. We were put down that way. So the reality is that it's already done. The damage is done. You're acting like the damage ain't done. The damage is done. We're trying to fix the damage. Right. But you cannot fix it by trying to rub the backside of your enemy. You can't do that, because they're not. You can actually see how they're looking at it. They're looking at the fact that they're looking at if truth comes out on the deck, we are in trouble. So they're just saying we don't want to hear anything of it at all. And they always find algorithmic Negroes to agree with them. Well, y'all going to see an algorithm definitely in the next video. That's coming up soon. You're going to see a real algorithm. The Captain Sarai sitting over here, he boiling, because I know I'm ready to turn him loose. He sent me this daggone article. This thing going to drive y'all nuts. Go ahead, let's go finish this thing out.
What the new CRT crowd want, what they think about most is don't be a racist, don't be a racist. But what they want is for battling power differentials to be the focus of everything. And I think most of us know we'd like to battle power differentials, but it's not going to be the main meal.
A few of the parents that we've spoken to who are critical of DEI or of critical race theory say, there's an overemphasis on race. By so explicitly pointing out what my color is, what your color is, that we're really only reinforcing racism.
The structure of our society is built on race. Some of us see it and feel it every day of our lives, like I did at the school where I was one of 2 or 3 other black people. We can ignore that, but what would the point be? Is that...
Pause it for a second. She's from Brooklyn, New York, and she's teaching in a public school, and she's 3 out of I don't know how many other white parents. Brooklyn was, from what I remember, it was like the 4th largest city in New York. I think that was the statistic. So you got a lot of black kids going to these schools. How come you only have 3 black people as teachers? So racism, structural racism, has even set that up. Nope. Go ahead.
A great education, when you bring in different perspectives and different people's stories and experience, it enriches education. It expands all.
White folks ain't listening to none of that.
No.
They ain't listening to nothing. They say, "Oh, but you can benefit if you just teach the truth and all that." White folks say, "Listen, woman, they want to call us something else." They say, "Listen, we don't want to hear none of that what you're talking about, because our kids need to know that they're superior to you niggas." That's basically what they're saying. Go ahead.
Children's learning.
Now, have you seen bad implementations of this?
Of course. Right? That's like asking, have I seen a bad math lesson? Right? Like, yes, teachers are humans, especially as we're trying to figure out how to teach about race and racism.
How do you address parents who are not comfortable with their kids being introduced to these concepts?
I take a deep breath. I figure out I ask, what's making you uncomfortable? Talk to me. Because often parents have these ideas that, you're teaching my child about race, as if children don't already have their own ideas about race.
That's what I want to get. Now, it's coming. The point she's making is that The white woman is saying, she's talking about the white parents. They're saying, listen, we're so reluctant for our kids to be taught this kind of stuff. And this black woman is saying, but why don't you just let them learn? Because they already know it. The point that's to be pulled from this is that, yes, they all know it, but black folks suffer from it. White folks don't.
Right.
That's the point. So back it up a little bit. I'm almost forgetting the points I want to bring out of this. So I'm trying to remember all of the points I wanted to say about these statements. Hit it again.
Ideas that you're teaching my child about race as if children don't already have their own ideas.
Their own ideas, meaning that black people are already suffering because of how they've already learned already. But the problem is black people are not given any solutions. So we're like confused people in a vacuum of running around with problems, with mental problems, trying to figure it out, and they'll leave us there. So black people are aware of race. White folks are also aware of what they did to us in a superior sense.
Right.
So they do. We all know about the realization of how we live, but the difference is that they don't want this thing taught because it's going to turn things around a little bit. And that's what the white people are really upset about. I said the white people, the Edomites, that the Bible speaks of. Okay, go ahead.
About race, right? As if children, because they're observers of the world and they learn by taking in information, they recognize what they see. They see that there are different skin colors. They've already absorbed messages about race without anyone.
Meaning that black people, that was it. Meaning black people are already living in a reality where their skin color affects them. White folks live in a reality where they know that they're white, they're quote-unquote white skin, quote-unquote, they're really red. Their quote-unquote white skin gives them white privilege. They already understand that. But the difference, the point to be pulled from that is that although black people know that their skin in this system represents failure, evil, and all the rest of it, our people need the truth to pull them out of that. And the beginning of certain things to be taught can be the conduit that would lead them to the real truth, which is this Bible. And that's what the white people understand, but the Negro is just completely lost and confused, don't understand why these people are acting up, why they're going crazy and all of that. Okay, they don't understand that. So,
but then they teach us, taught us their heritage.
Right.
They teach us about George Washington, and they teach us about Benjamin Franklin flying a kite, whoever's chopping down a cherry tree, the Boston Tea Party. They teach us all that stuff.
All that garbage.
And then in there, we trying to find ourselves where we at, what we do, you know, where our greatness.
And we just had to endure it.
And we just had to endure it.
We had to take it home. Mama, I learned that I was a nobody. I learned that I was next to a monkey. I learned that I was a criminal. I was a bad man. I'm a no good father. I'm a drug dealer and a thug.
Right.
That's what I learned.
Yeah, so they teach you about all these so-called great people: George Washington, Christopher Columbus, all these. And you know where our people was at? In the damn field.
Exactly.
In the damn field.
Exactly.
So what type of mindset are you trying? Well, we're going to teach you about all these great people, but your people was over there in the fields picking cotton, tobacco, and this and that, letting you know, trying to show you that you ain't nothing.
Now, let's go and get right into it. Go ahead, Captain. I'm going to give it to you now.
Well, I watched this Netflix movie, and y'all need to go check it out. It's about Colin Kaepernick. Y'all know Colin Kaepernick took a knee back and caught hell. Jersey burned up. All the stuff was against him.
And still ain't in the league.
And still ain't in the league.
And that's systematic racism right there.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it, because he take a knee because he's standing for the police brutality against his people, the killing, and even the George Floyd, and it continued on. You know, it was evident. So just before we get into that, okay, let's go into the little trailer. Start at 4. It says the trailer. It says you see it on Netflix, official trailer to 140. I just want you to listen closely because they run through it kind of fast. Okay, this Colin Kaepernick right there, they're showing an actor portraying him, but listen to the words as what he dealt with, because he's given his upbringing, some of the things that he experienced that we're talking about today.
And
and
that's a heavy point right there, Captain. As you say, he's talking about his upbringing.
Right.
But they'll have these people go on the news and only talk about what he did about taking a knee and this, that, and this. But he talked about the racism that he had to come up with.
They don't want that coming out.
Nobody talks about that.
Because when you talk about racism, the question is who's behind the racism? The white folks. They don't want that to be out.
And that's why they're against him. That's why they're against him even more now with this this coming out on Netflix, okay? So a lot of people griping and complaining about that, okay? But Colin himself, okay, he was adopted by a white family, raised in a white family. But he noticed the indifference, okay, towards him and other, living with white folks. The indifference being with his own people and the indifference being not with his own people.
Right.
But let's just play a little bit of this from 40 seconds to the times I posted. Go ahead.
It's a celebration. Black is beautiful. We don't fold the.
So you see that he had his hair out. He got his hair braided. Okay, that was a controversy then. Going even back to Allen Iverson, it was a controversy when they brought that style into the league. Okay, but play on. It's gonna speak for itself.
It turned out my competition wasn't only on the field. Look, you got a ton of that.
So he says competition wasn't only on the field. He had to deal with the injustice of the coach, even though he was a better player.
Right.
Okay. It wasn't just the competition on the field, even though he outplayed or out executed of trying to be a quarterback. His competition was because of these Edomite coaches. Okay. Play on.
To account, okay? Go. Johnson, he's the prototype I'm looking for.
He said he's the prototype we're looking for. Okay. He's the prototype we're looking for, the Johnson, okay, the Edomite quarterback.
The white face.
Right. Now check this out. Put that over there. They let them see it. He's going to the elevator with his parents. The person don't even realize that he's with his, adopted parents. But watch this. Play on.
Growing up with white parents, I assumed their privilege was mine. You too good? Okay. Fine, thanks. Yeah.
Now pause it. He said, I thought their privilege was mine.
Nope. Yeah.
Their white privilege was going to be my privilege.
Exactly.
You
there you go. Wow.
But I was wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah. Play on.
I'm good too. Thanks.
That remind me of that thing I told y'all about years ago. They had a band, brothers that was traveling.
Yes, sir.
And and they were going to play, and the Ephraimite brothers went and said, "Listen, we got tickets to play. We got a thing to play in here."
Right.
And no, the brothers went first.
Okay.
And the brothers went and they said, "We don't want no niggas up in here." So then the Ephraimite brothers went and said, "Listen, Poppy, he went and talked to him, and thinking that he can get over because he looked almost like this." And he said, "I don't care what kind of nigga you are. We ain't no niggas playing in this club tonight." Bam, and slapped the door and spit tobacco out while he was. Damn.
What kind of
nigga, y'all?
Wow.
So he thought. So my point was, Ephraim thought that he had white privilege. That's the reason why I brought that up.
Oh man.
So there you go.
So here it is. Like I said, Colin's bringing out these points in his life. Now everybody against him. Why? You know what? Because truth coming out. All right. Play on.
Yeah, I'm good too. Thanks. I was in for a rude awakening. We going ultra black.
What's up? All the way up to what?
But that's really right. That was the actor playing him, but that's Colin Kaepernick.
That's Colin there.
Back it up so you can hear his state. He said, "I was in for a rude awakening." That's what he's saying. Go ahead.
Awakening. We going ultra black.
What's up with Kaepernick? The hair. Something climbing out the back of his head. Not acceptable.
You see that? So the coaches complain about his hair. Okay. How he looks, okay? He only taking in his heritage. Then you saw the little piece where he's finally driving and get pulled over. Now he got to put his hands up with his parents in there like he a crook.
Exactly.
All of a sudden,
And then the guy, I saw that part, and he said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm his father."
Right.
And the cop was like, "What?"
Yes, right.
So he said, "I got to give some of this white privilege," because he didn't want to.
No,
you dig it? So,
right.
that's crazy.
It's crazy. Play on.
What's up with Kaepernick? The hair. Something climbing out the back of his head. Not acceptable.
Pitch black like the night. We going ultra black.
It's November, and you have no offers for football. You want to be somebody's second choice?
I'm ultra black.
You're just gonna have to prove them wrong. Why am I always the one that has to prove them wrong?
Nobody fault. I tell the truth. I know what's.
That was heavy right there. The Edomite father said, "You just gonna have to prove everybody wrong." He's like, "Why I always got?" And that was portrayed throughout the whole thing. His parents, his adopted parents, had no idea how to deal with the situations that he was going through.
That's the reason why it's so dangerous when these Edomites adopt our children, because they can't relate to them.
Not at all.
So
Not at all.
That's for some of y'all that might be. Well, none of us gonna think that way, but I'm just putting that on the world stage.
Right.
Go ahead.
So 10 more seconds of this. We're going to stop at 140, and then I'm going to take you back to what really caused the controversy against Colin in this movie as well, in this picture as well. Play on.
Facts. Sometimes I just feel uncomfortable.
Chin up, Colin.
I couldn't rebel because I didn't know how. But now...
Right there. See there? But now, he didn't know how to rebel, but now he's taking a knee. All right? He's against.
And he was talking. He spoke about. He said brothers are getting shot in the street.
Yes,
right. Felinio, what's his name? Felinio Castillo,
right,
got killed. That was, I think, that was the particular situation that made him like, you know what? This is some BS going on.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead.
Right,
lean back.
Right, exactly. Now, not this one. Go back. Yeah, go down to the next one. Go down. Right there. Play that one, starting at 2:15 to 2:49, and then I'm really gonna blow your mind with this next one that's coming up. So this is a guy there again. You see, saying insane. Colin Kaepernick compares NFL draft to slavery.
Hey,
okay?
that goes along with like what I said about it was a slavery picture, and the guy said that a slave that wants to escape is a sick Negro.
Wow.
In other words, he's in his right mind when he continues to want to be in slavery. If you want to escape, that means something's wrong with you.
Wow.
That's the disrespect that they have with us.
Right.
And that's what he said. You calling him insane?
Right. Right. Because he brought that. Now, in the Netflix movie video we were just showing, going to the very beginning, this is what you're going to see in the opening of the video where he brings out this point here. And this is what the next video after this, we're going to show you what they're angry about, okay?
I'm going to let it ride.
Play on.
We're going to get this.
Before they put you on the field, teams poke, prod, and examine you, searching for any defect that might affect your performance. No boundary respected. No dignity left intact.
You hear that? No dignity left intact. Okay, they strip you, leave you.
Right.
They damn near naked out there.
Right. But now, why did he say that? He getting ready to show you right now. Play.
Okay, and then if you can't see this, there's a bunch of guys who are getting checked out at the combine with their shirts off, and then they walk out of the combine and into a graphic of them with chains on them being auctioned off as slaves.
See there? That's the point that he's bringing out.
Mad as hell,
right?
Because again, it's another reference to the Bible.
Right.
That's what the problem. This is a so-called Jew speaking. I know it's his little worm-looking self.
Yeah,
he's upset because that's going to bring people to say the Bible talks about slavery, and he mad about that thing.
That's exactly right. The connection is
the connection.
They
said
Colin got the connection.
He got the connection.
Yes.
And people gonna end up listening to him and coming to the orbit of that damn Bible. That's how he looking at it.
Right. And the Israelites out there teaching this Bible about us slavery. Wait a minute, they're gonna mess around and connect that with them brothers out there in purple and gold.
Exactly.
You know?
Go ahead.
Hey, you know what it is, Captain?
What's that?
They give all these entertainers this money and popularity and all this stuff, and they never expect them to speak up.
Right.
And tell the truth about
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. They give them all these rules and regulations to abide by. You know, then you be a good nigga and we continue to pay you and, and give you endorsements. You hush your mouth. Okay. That's it.
I'm gonna take your money
because
from
it's going back to the what's his name? Jackson, Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah,
Remember?
exactly.
Same thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
They castrated him they castrated him basically.
That's exactly
in the
right.
damn open media.
That's exactly right. Who's that now? They insulting him now because he won't take the jab for the New Jersey. Okay, the basketball player.
Wow.
What was his name?
It'll come to you. Somebody know it. Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving.
That Kyrie Irving, because he won't take the jab. Okay, now they finding him. Now they booting him out off the team. But then you get Aaron Rodgers get hemmed up, find out he ain't even took the jab, and all the NFL players supposed to take the jab. This is a Edomite quarterback now.
Right.
Now he been in the midst violating the whole,
right.
thing that they set forth, and he been in the midst of them all along. And now he got COVID all of a sudden.
he got
he
COVID,
never even
yeah.
he lied about the jab. He ain't even took the jab himself, But we're gonna see how they gonna deal with him compared to Kyrie Irving. But back to Colin again. Okay, we're just talking about the injustice that's being revealed. Now let's go to this part here. Now this was gonna really take the cake right here.
In the meantime, former NFL player Colin Kaepernick stirring controversy after comparing the NFL's draft process to a slave auction. He makes the claims in his new Netflix special. Here to react, former NFL player and CEO of the
Pause it for a minute. Now,
Look at
first
his
of
face.
all, look
They
at
get
he
the Negro.
angry. Yes.
Yeah, they get the Negro, the
Yeah.
algorithm. They get there. You
Set
go.
him up. Put the flag behind him.
algorithmic Negro
Yeah.
With the frown on
with
his
the
face.
frown on.
Yes.
I can't stand this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you. That's it. Hey, you want to know something? I'm gonna say this real
Yes,
quick.
sir. Yes, sir.
Public
You're fine.
Enemy. When Public Enemy, I like to talk about them because back in the day, they were my boys.
Right.
Public Enemy did a song called "Can't Trust It," and he used the way we work on these jobs now.
Right.
And he did a connection between the jobs now and slavery. So he did basically the same thing that Colin Kaepernick showed you. So just like like he's making a point about the NFL have deal with us like we're slaves on the field. That's the way that the jobs deal with us on the job. When you know,
right.
so that's when you
Exactly.
just watch the movie, just watch the video from Public Enemy called "Can't Trust It," and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Can't trust it.
There it is.
Go ahead.
So this video is Colin Kaepernick faces backlash from comparing the NFL draft to slavery. So here they go. They roll in their coon. They throw those flag and stars behind him.
Right,
He
you see that,
mean
right?
mugging.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he mean mugging. He ready to go.
He ready.
All right, she's setting him up. Let him go.
He ready to come against his brother.
There you go. Roll it.
Brewer Group, Jack Brewer. Jack, good morning to you.
Good morning. Congratulations for your new role.
Oh, thank you
Good
so
to see
much. So kind. Well, there's nobody better to talk about this topic than you. So what is your reaction to Colin Kaepernick comparing the NFL to slavery?
First off, my dignity is in place, and I did go through the NFL Combine. And I tell you what, this new Colin Kaepernick doctrine that's penetrating the minds and hearts of so many of our
I'm
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, he was already castrated.
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he
yeah.
came through there.
He came up there. It's Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Bro, he said, "Look, Master, am I?" He looked at that master and said, "Am I doing good, sir?"
Right. Right.
He said, "I'll get him."
I get him.
Let me get him, master.
What did he say?
Just turn me loose. Just turn me loose. I get him.
Nobody else
Back
gonna
it
say
up a
nothing.
little
I'll
bit,
say
Captain.
something.
I'm gonna let you take it,
No,
brother.
you good,
Because we're
you
gonna be
good.
all over this thing, man.
Yeah.
Run it back a little bit. I'm gonna give it back to you, Captain. You bought this thing up. Come on, man.
Go ahead, play it.
Kaepernick comparing the NFL to slavery.
First off, my dignity is in place, and I did go through the NFL Combine. And I tell you what, this new Colin Kaepernick doctrine that's penetrating the minds and hearts of so many of our underserved black kids across America.
Pause it.
is
Hear
the
that? Because this does affect kids. Right. And that's who we trying to reach. What are they trying to do in the school system? They're trying to stop these kids from knowing their true history. Right. They're trying to stop us, making us a hate group of teaching our people their true history. Okay? Now, here they got this coon up here representing. You know, I've been through the NFL, the combine, everything, and they castrated him. That's how we know.
That statement is to discredit
right
Kaepernick because he's been through the same system.
Yeah,
He said,
same
"Listen,
system.
I went through it and it wasn't that way for me, so don't listen to him."
Right.
That's the whole thing.
I didn't feel that way.
I ain't feel that way, so you
Right.
wrong. You crazy.
He said, my dignity is intact.
My dignity
And
is
called
intact.
it a doctrine.
Yeah.
No, this is truth. So he calling that a doctrine. Wow. You calling, man,
I tell you, Deacon IBL know what I mean when I say that Negro, brother. That damn thing ran off the damn laboratory table, ran outside and went into society and caused hell.
He one up.
And now he's doing the interview.
Now he's doing the interview.
Yeah, there you
now
go.
he up there.
There you go. Look at his eyes half shut.
Making a mess. Go ahead, man.
Lord have mercy. Play on.
Minds and hearts of so many of our underserved black kids across America is the single largest threat to black men.
Whoa, whoa. The single largest threat to black men.
Wow.
So dope being pushed in our community,
No.
they ain't the largest threat.
Wow. Ain't
Being
the largest
miseducated about being called a coon in school. Black only water fountains.
Right.
Had to step off the sidewalk when you were walking when white folks was coming to disease. Miseducation.
Lord have mercy.
That's not the single, but the worst. Colin Kaepernick is Satan, basically, in his mind.
Yes.
Everything else is next to Jesus, but here he come trying to undo the works of Satan. Damn. Go ahead, man.
Play some more. Watch.
Hearts of so many of our underserved black kids across America is the single largest threat to black men in the United States of America. Because right now, folks are thinking that they're victims, and they're living in the most prosperous, the most opportunity in any country in the world. And so this one hurts me because every day I get up and I
He
go out
remind
and
me
try
of
to-
Benjamin. He said any country in the world. He remind me of Benjamin being overseas. I know Benjamin don't like this.
Yeah.
He's looking at him. I just want to go to America. Look at them the big lights.
Right.
In the world.
Right. Yes.
Go ahead, man. He's just
Yeah.
fascinated.
I'm telling you, he's just spewing straight evil out of his mouth. Listen some more. Play on.
And they're living in the most prosperous, the most opportunity in any country in the world. And so this one hurts me because every day I get up and I go out and try to help young African-American boys become men and try to instill those values. And when you have someone like this who has the audacity to call multi-millionaires slaves, and compare a process of someone living their dream, going to the National Football League, comparing that to slavery, it's gone overboard.
How many black people make it to the NFL out of all of those people that get? So what American dream is we talking about? You're talking about like 1 out of 100,000.
And that's the point. It is a dream.
It's a dream.
It's not reality because it can come and go at any time.
And a lot of them who played in the league are broke today.
Right.
What dream? You know?
This guy's crazy as hell.
It is a dream that turned into a nightmare.
Exactly.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the owners is making billions.
Billions of dollars.
They're making
They
profit.
And they call them owners for a reason, just like the slave owners.
That's exactly
Same
right.
damn thing.
Right. If you don't see this, I don't know what's wrong with you. You mad we be sitting up there at the panel with him.
Yeah.
But play on.
Needs to do some soul searching. You just watch that video. You see how dark it is. And to take the most fragmented, the most vulnerable population we have in America, where we have kids that 70% of them don't have fathers. A lot of them can't. They're reading and math.
Wait. I'm sorry. For him to say that. For him to say that black kids are disenfranchised, 70% of them don't have fathers.
Right.
Did Colin Kaepernick do that?
No.
Nigga, I realize it making me lose my damn mind.
That's
You said
what it
Colin
did to me.
Kaepernick is worse
Right.
than that?
Right.
70% of our men don't have fathers?
Yes.
Disenfranchised?
Right.
Thrown out?
Right.
And you said Colin Kaepernick, go. I got to let it ride.
That's
man.
why I
This
say,
guy's too
bitch,
much, man.
this thing had me pissed off.
He
He
said how dark it is.
Kat, he said how dark it is. So you mean to tell me Captain showed the clip?
And I said nigga, N-I-G-G-A. So nobody's going to be talking about somebody use some bad words. Go ahead.
When he was driving, the cop pulled him over, damn near pulled out his gun on him. You telling me that's dark? He's showing the racism that's here in America.
Mm-hmm.
If anything is dark, it's them that did this atrocities to us.
Exactly.
I can't stand a coon, man. Can we get one scripture real quick, Cap? One scripture real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
First Maccabees 11, verse 21, man. I cannot stand a coon, man. Somebody that hate his own people, and he manifesting this thing right here.
Come on.
That's right.
Because he's bringing out truth. Now you want to call him the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man, you got to get your mind right, bro. Go ahead, read that.
First Maccabees, chapter 11, verse 21. Then certain ungodly persons who hated their own people.
That did what?
Who hated their own people.
Jack Brewer showing that right now as he talking with this so-called this Edomite.
Right.
Ungodly person that hate his own people because Colin Kaepernick bringing out the truth about racism in America. That's what we've been talking about all night, Bishop. Racism in America bringing out the truth. Go ahead. I'm gonna let it go.
You right on point. Now play on. Let's watch some more how much hatred he got.
At proficiency levels, rate against third world countries. You have kids that are already hopeless.
Why are they hopeless? They ain't got to stop it. The point is he's saying that they're hopeless. Why are they hopeless? Because of white society.
Right.
That ain't got nothing to do with Colin Kaepernick. Go ahead. This guy's
someone
crazy
that's
as
a
hell.
leader, and then you go out and push this mentality, and you're supposed to be someone that's a leader. Think about the movement that this guy started, the opportunity that he has, that he could actually come in and promote positivity to young black and African American men, telling them how great this country is. He doesn't have that spirit in him. He has an evil, anti-American spirit, and it's sick and disgusting to think that.
Pause it. He said an anti-American spirit. No, you got the evil anti-Christ spirit. That's what you got.
Hey, I'm sorry. That's the part I was waiting for. Back it up just a little bit and listen to how he just rolling it, and the woman has had to interrupt him.
Yeah,
she had to basically say,
and she ain't gonna get in.
But she said, "Okay, nigga, you earned your money."
Yeah, right. You're done.
That's how. I wanted that part to come out.
He said, "Nah."
He's still rolling. He said, "Nah, I got it."
Yeah, he won't let it go.
A little bit.
Basically,
listen, you got to listen to the subtleties. Back it up a little bit while he's rolling.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the rhythm.
Yes.
He said, "Okay, you earned your money. You earned it. Let it ride." Go ahead.
Opportunity that he has, that he could actually come in and promote positivity to young black and African American men, telling them how great this country is. He doesn't have that spirit in him. He has an evil, anti-American spirit,
So, Jack,
and it's sick and disgusting to think that that even one more thing, Carly, that even Netflix, someone that
you earned your paycheck. You earned it. You earned it. Slow down. I got you.
Hey, Bishop, you know what it reminded me? It reminded me of that movie you brought up, No Town, what no country.
No country.
Yeah. You hired a man to do a job and he just won't stop.
Right.
Hey, the job done. Cut it out.
Yeah, man. Now he hit Netflix.
Yeah.
What's on that Boondocks?
Uncle Ruckus.
Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah.
Uncle Ruckus right here.
Yeah, boy. That's Uncle Ruckus' nephew.
Go ahead, Captain.
Play on. We about through it.
American spirit,
So,
and it's
Jack,
sick and disgusting to think that that even one more thing, Carly, that even Netflix, someone that big and popular, would even put something out like that to penetrate the mind of these kids should be illegal.
It should be illegal.
He said it should be illegal. He a criminal now.
It ain't illegal to call 70% of our men that don't have fathers. That ain't illegal.
Right.
It ain't illegal to pump dope in our communities. That ain't illegal. But Colin Kaepernick, because he's telling the truth about the damn system, he should be illegal.
Now he a criminal all of a
Damn.
sudden.
That's what you call an algorithm, a Negro algorithm.
Right. Flag just flapping right there behind his head.
You know, you just put that thing out there and say, listen, I need you to do this work on this computer so that I can go to sleep. You run the thing for me. That's what an algorithm is. That's this Negro.
Yep. Play some more.
Penetrate the mind of these kids should be illegal.
You know, how do you fight back against this logic, Jack? Because I know that this is something that you try to do on a day-to-day basis.
The only way you can do it is through the Word of God.
Look at that. Pause. Hey, I'm gone. Bye.
The Word of God. The Word of God. Jesus Christ.
You better shut your black mouth.
Hey, the Word of God. Give me Revelation, man. We got into with this here. Revelation. I got to get it. Revelation.
That was enough right there.
Lord have mercy.
He ruined it.
This dude, man.
13, 9, and 10. He said the Word of God. See, there was more in this because he was going to mention, I saw this.
Yeah.
And he was saying that they need to be taught that they were kings and queens and all this.
Yeah.
He said that. If you're going to tell the black people that they are kings, Negro,
confused.
I want to, you know the word I want to use. Yeah. How in the world you going to be a king without subjects?
Right.
Without servants?
Right.
How in the world you going to tell the black people that they are, because I needed him to say that, but we got to. How in the world you going to tell us that we're kings? That was all BS. He don't look at us as no kings at all. He's just saying it because he's trying to appease certain black folks.
Right.
He don't really mean about us being king. He wants us to stay in slavery. That's what it is.
And it's evident because look how he's talking about his own black brother.
Right.
It's evident.
Hey, man.
Right.
There was a clip that I saw that I was watching earlier today. Damn, I got to send it to you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Read your scripture. Yeah.
Revelation.
Read the scripture.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Go ahead.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
So when you talk about bringing people to the Bible, that's the Bible. Right. He that leadeth into slavery, that's what Colin Kaepernick was showing you. Right. Because that's the reality of this whole system. This whole system is about using and abusing us for their benefit. The Bible says, you want to talk about the Bible, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. But you so mad at the brother for bringing this out. Lord have mercy.
Look at this picture
right
quick while we get ready to close it out here. But there again, it speaks a lot.
It makes
tells
sense
it all.
now.
It makes sense, don't it?
Oh,
yeah.
Lord, there you go.
It makes sense.
Damn.
Yes.
Lord have mercy.
Sold out. Okay. All right, move that, man. I tell you.
Go ahead, man. I have to bring the video in next week, man. I got it here, but I didn't send it to y'all, so we ain't got enough time to do it.
You know, again, I encourage y'all to go back, watch the the Netflix itself, before they snatch it down or they block it or whatever it may be that they're gonna do. Because you can tell,
got a little controversy going on right now.
Yes, exactly. So, let's put up. We'll close out about the alms, and we hope y'all enjoyed the show, the radio show today. The Bible, the Book of Our Fathers, the city of Israel in restoration.
That's
okay?
right.
And that's what you see is going on with all these controversies going on because the Most High has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. All right? Put that over there. Don't neglect to give alms. For those who would like to give alms, fill out an envelope and place it in your local alms box in your IUIC, okay, assembly. To give alms online, donate to IUIC Concord via PayPal at iuic.concord.nc@israelunite.org. And continue to donate to the Booster Club. We continue to spread this gospel to the four corners of the earth at via PayPal at iuic.fundraising@israelunite.org. All right?
You know, it's easy for our people to, if we ever want to kill black folk, all we got to do is hire another black folk, another black person to do it. You know, so there you go right there. That's all it takes. White folks don't even got to get his hands dirty.
Right,
He
right.
just say, just hire another one of us to do our own end. And that's basically what we just watched. All right, Bible, the Book of Our Fathers, technical crew, Officer Azariah, that's who we had on the set reading for us today and giving his commentary. All praise to the Most High. Officer Kasdiel, Officer Yehoshua, Officer Gidron, Soldier Israel, Soldier Oshea, Soldier Uriah, and Soldier Ezekiel. And we give thanks to the Most High and the Son Jesus Christ for putting the Spirit on these brothers, for bringing in their talents to help us produce this show to get y'all this gospel. Okay. We also want to thank our brothers and sisters who support this program that are with us, and we thank the Lord for you, and we pray that you continue to keep yourselves healthy, keep your immune systems up, stay healthy. Don't eat fried foods and stuff that's going to have you all jacked up. Try to eat healthy, brothers and sisters. As people say, we got a winter coming, and they're really trying to wipe us out. So don't think they're just doing it by finding these algorithm Negroes.
Right.
They're trying to do it by causing us to start eating bad, and we get sick among ourselves. Exactly. So let us be mindful of that and know that we're in our enemy's land, and it's time for us to band together, okay, so that we can do what this Bible says: restore the state, the decayed state, and bring our people back to where the Most High mean for us to be. All right, I'm trying to quote the scripture, but I think I'm saying it backwards. But y'all know what we've been talking about all during this series. Okay, we were very upset about that. We're trying to bring our people back into the good graces of the Most High. So with that, brothers and sisters, we say shalom, happy Sabbath, stay blessed. All right.